Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Croft Studios here, and I'm here with the Land of Warriors board game number 2. This is the alternate board for the very first Land of Warriors board game, and it also has different rules and functions than the other board game. The objective of this game is to be the last survivor and slay all of the other players. Another way to win this game is to collect all 8 silver gems or all 4 lime green gems. These are the only 3 ways to win. The map is also divided into 5 sections: the lava fort, the spider fields, the ice caps, the labyrinth, and the wildlands. All 4 of the sections besides the wildlands contain 2 silver gems. The wildlands contain the 4 lime green gems. On each turn you roll 2 dice. Each dice has a 1 to 6 possibility on it, and 1 stud is equivalent to 1 space. All players will start out in the middle of the map, as is the same as the last Land of Warriors game. And when you roll, whoever gets the lowest number goes first. Also, if you get doubles, you get another turn. There are 20 pieces of currency on the map, and they are represented by these little gold studs. I would use the Lord of the Rings little ring pieces, but I do not have enough to make it for this board as well. And they can be used to purchase items. You can purchase items from the web portal, the Temple of Grief, the Catapult, and the bank. If you want to purchase an item already from that was already input into the bank, it costs 10 currency. Each little gold piece is worth 1, and the gold bar, which was from the old game, is worth 3, but is no longer in this game. A new rule implemented into the game is trading. You're allowed to trade with any player as long as you are in this 8x8 radius in the middle of the map, which is light gray. You cannot kill or try to kill someone when you are trading until you leave and the other person leaves the middle area. Starting off our weapons, which is the mace. This is found in the lava fort, and the mace deals 3 damage and can be used from 5 studs away, and you can use it diagonally. If a person is a beast, which I will explain later, and you attack them, it deals 1.5 damage. Our second weapon is the axe, which is found in the spider plains. This deals 4 damage and can break the spell of a beast on anyone who has it, which I said I will explain in a little bit. You can use it from 4 spaces away, but it cannot be used diagonally. Found in the ice caps, the Shuriken deals 2 damage and can be used from 10 studs away. It can be used diagonally and throw downstairs, but not from off of surfaces that drop after 1 plate, which is basically 1 by 1/3. You can't throw it around walls, but you can use it diagonally if it is in a straight path. The Flintlock, which is found in the Labyrinth, can be used from 3 studs away and does 5 damage. It can also be used diagonally, but it cannot be shot around walls unless the person is right in front of the projectile. Showing our main areas, to start out is the lava fort, and the lava fort is infested with trails that lead you to the mace weapon, which I explained earlier. And the inside also has an evil snake, which I will explain later as well, but we're just going to take a look at some of the details on here. You can see what it looks like. I didn't really explain too well what it looked like and what the areas looked like in the other game, but you can see how it kind of looks right here. There's a lot of small trails and stuff going around. And then taking a look at the front of it, it's kind of just a big mountain look to it, as you can see, and you can see the entrance is kind of this archway. The next area is the spider fields, which basically has a lot of hedges around it, and there's cobwebs everywhere, and there is a mother spider, which does pertain to a couple rules once we get to our monsters, like I said about the snake as well. You can see him right there, and there's kind of a wall going around it. It kind of has a castle feel to it, kind of like the other castle area that I showed you guys in the alternate Land of Warriors board game. You can see this, there's a little bit of detail right here for some plants, and there's a catapult up here. I think you guys know what that does if you've seen the other Land of Warriors board game. Our third area, the ice caps, is an area with slippery ice and a very scary ice fort, which could be pretty dangerous without the right equipment. But you can see it right here. There's a lot of cool ice areas, and there's cool things you can go up on. Doesn't really do too much, but it's cool to walk around here. There's a lot of cool details and such as ice and stuff up here, which I'll explain later. You can see the front of it right here, moving our way around. And then you can see it's kind of like just a big archway area with ice and very treacherous heights that you're going to be on if you go in this area. And then this is what it looks like from the side. The last main area is the labyrinth, and it contains a creepy carpeted red floor leading to an unnatural looking labyrinth. And there's actually a big creature here, which does steal your items if you get a certain number, which is the rat right here, which I'll explain in a little while as well. But you can see it's kind of just, it's not really a labyrinth, it's kind of just a really creepy carpeted area. It's kind of like a haunted area. I might actually redo this area in the future, and I'll show you guys if I do. I was thinking about making it like a more haunted feel to it, but it's still pretty cool right now. Starting off our small areas, and the first of the 5 is the Stairs of Doom. And Stairs of Doom lead to one of the highest valued weapons in the game. And if you get the number 4 while you are on basically this part of the stairs will turn right to face this way, and you have to go back all the way down in order for it to turn back. In order to make it so it basically just goes back into this position, then you can try to make your way up it again. So basically that's the only way to make it so it can turn back around. The next area is Mammoth Tusks Valley, and basically going through this area has a treasure chest at the end of it, but you actually need to get an item in order to get in there. It's kind of like the graveyard from the other game, but basically you need a shovel, which I'll show you in a little while. But basically if you knock down a tusk when you're moving your figure through here, basically if you accidentally knock one down, you'll lose 3 health. And that's actually a pretty big amount, so if you're trying to rush through here, I'd take my time if I was walking through here with a little guy. So make sure not to go like this when you're trying to move your guy, otherwise you will lose 3 health. Our next area is the Temple of Grief. And the Temple of Grief has a holding place for an evil potion, which basically I'll explain in a little while, but basically has an evil potion that does a couple of things. You have to pay to use it and stuff like that, so it's pretty cool. Our next small area is the web portal, and basically to get here you have to go around here and go up these stairs, and it basically leads you to an area where you can get to this little web portal. It basically has the same function as the bat from the other game, so basically you pay 1 currency and you can either go to this stud point right here, you could go here on this stud, or it can fly you to this stud point. So it can you basically pay 1 currency, it can fly you to any of those points. The last of our small areas is basically the hidden door. This is kind of from the other game as well. It's basically a portal. You can go through here, and it doesn't even cost anything. You just go in for free. It leads to this door right here. You can't really see it. It's kind of turned around. Basically, it leads to a door right next to the Temple of Grief. Right here, you can see it right there, and it basically just exits you right there. Starting off our monsters is the Mummy, and the Mummy moves 4 spaces and chases the closest person, who basically enters no man's land, which is basically the wild lands, anywhere where this area is gray, excluding this area, which is also dark gray. And the Mummy has 4 health and it deals 2 damage, and it cannot enter main areas, but can enter small areas except for this middle section. Moving on to the Lava Snake. Basically, the Lava Snake doesn't like the number 8. If you get the number 8, he'll basically make you lose 2 health. And if you are a beast, he will basically make you lose 1 health. And this only pertains to the dark gray area inside of the lava fort. Moving on to our next monster, which is the Spider. And the Spider basically does not like the number 2. If you get the number 2 in this greenish area, it doesn't actually count on this area. But if you get it in the green area, you will lose a turn, basically trapping you inside of a small web, and then after that you can basically go on to your turn. This isn't much of a monster, but more of an obstacle, which is basically the slippery ice. It can still be deadly, obviously. So basically the translucent blue areas with no studs, you must slide your player across it. So I'm going to show you an example. So basically, say you land right here and you get the number 4. So basically you have to push your guy across it without knocking him down. And you can see I knocked mine down. Basically you have to push it all the way across, and then once you hit the stud you can move it on, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically that's how that works. And if you fall, you lose 3 health, and basically if you're sliding your player like this and he falls off into the abyss, then you're completely dead. But if he just falls down here, you basically just can put him on any stud that he lands on. If his head is on this stud, you can put him on there. Anywhere that his body lands, you can put him on a stud, and wherever his body landed. But you also lose 3 health on the fall, so basically you're going to want to be careful when you're crossing these. Up next for monsters is the Giant Rat, and the Giant Rat lives in the Labyrinth. If you roll a 7, basically only in the red area, so basically if you're in this gray area, it doesn't count. But if you roll the number 7, he will take a coin away from you. And you can challenge him to get your money back, basically by going on the screen space. And basically, here's what happens. When you challenge him, you have to roll a dice. If you get an even number, you get you get any money or any items or whatever that he takes from you back. But if you get an odd number, he will take another coin from you. And if you don't have any coins for him to take away, he will kill you and take all your items. So basically, if you get killed by the rat, someone else can go and challenge him for all the stuff that he killed you for. And it doesn't really happen too often, but obviously if you're trying to get your stuff back and you really need to take the risk, then go ahead. But it's kind of a risky type of option. Again, this isn't really much of a monster, but it is a type of obstacle, and I think I explained this earlier, which is basically the Mammoth Tusks. Like I said earlier, basically if you knock it over, it will take a couple of damage away. I forgot what it was. Basically, I think it takes 3 damage from your player, so try not to knock those over. Moving on to our first item, which is the Star of Slowness. Obviously, you can see it's not here right now. I actually lost the piece for it. I'm still looking for it, so when I do the actual board game playing with this, I'll get the star. But basically, what the star does, it can be thrown from it can be thrown at another player from 5 studs away, and it can also be thrown around walls and can be used diagonally. But basically, once you hit them, they only move half of what they roll for 3 turns. And if you roll an odd number while doing this, you move 1 space on the turn. So basically, that's basically to avoid half spaces and stuff like that. So if you get an odd number when you're rolling, you only move 1 space during that turn. Up next is the Cup of Replenishment, which basically can be drank to give you all your health back, and it can also give you another coin, or 1 coin from another player of your choice. If you use it and basically no other players have coins, you can take a coin from anywhere on the map, except the gold bar, which was in this game, but it's not now. So our next item, which is the Tnt of Boom, and this TNT can be thrown from 4 studs away at any spot. Anyone in the 5x5 radius where you throw it will lose 7 health no matter what they have, even if they are a beast or not. The only person to not be hurt by the explosion is the person who threw it. Our next item is the Shovel of Discovery. The Shovel of Discovery adds 1 damage and 1 space to each roll you take. So basically, you can dig up the chest with this shovel. After you dig up the chest with the shovel, the effects wear off. So basically, you won't have the extra space and extra hit on your item. You can also use this to dig up the 2 jewels that are in front of the Temple of Grief, which are right here, these 2 green ones, and they can once you dig those up, they can be used as 1 currency. Our next item is the Dragon of Wealth, and this item allows any money you have to double in value if you have it. Our next item is the Flower of Change, and this item allows you to switch spots with another player as long as they are in a main area. If they are not, you cannot switch spots with them. You can be in a main area if you're trying to switch spots with someone else, but they can't. They have to be in a main area for you to switch spots with them. This spicy chicken marinated with the hottest of sauces gives you full health and an extra 2 damage on your weapon for 5 turns once you use it. Our next item, which is the Angel Wings, basically gives you an extra. Basically, you can move 5 studs in any direction going over walls as long as you land in a playable space. You can go diagonal or any way you want to, but you have to land on a playable space once you use it. So you can't basically go on a space that you can't get on by basically just walking up. You can't. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically if you use the Angel Wings and you end up on top of this or something like that, that's against the rules, because you can't technically just walk up there in any type of scenario when you're just using your guy. You have to land on a playable space when you're using this item, and basically you move 5 studs, so you can use this in a couple good situations. Say you're right here and there's someone cornering you, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and land over here. And also this item can only be used once. Our next item is the Lamp of Exclusion. Now basically this item allows you to be excluded from any monster rules in the main areas. So basically if you slip on that ice, you can just put your guy back up there and keep going. Or if you roll a number, if you roll a 2 in the spider area, it doesn't hurt you at all. So basically this is a pretty good area. If you know, it's actually a really cool area. Or a really cool item that you can use in areas, because you can escape a lot of monsters and a lot of tricky type of areas to get through with this item. And also the rat cannot take any currency from you when you have this item as well. Our last item is the Skull of Death, and this is inside the treasure chest once you open it up. Oh yeah, this is the silver bar I was talking about. That's worth 3 currency. But this is the Skull of Death right here. Basically the Skull of Death allows you to choose 1 main area to choose, and basically you can throw the skull at it no matter where you are on the map. And basically the area you throw this skull at will cause everyone in that main area to go down to 1 health immediately. And it's a pretty good item, obviously. Say you're chasing someone and they're in this main area, you can throw the skull in this area. No matter where you are on the map, you can throw the skull in this area, and basically it will make whatever players that are in the area that you threw it at, they will go down to 1 health. So basically it can be used in really good scenarios, so that's a really good item. So moving on to buyable things in the game, this is the Goblet of Beasts, and I said I was going to explain this. So basically, you can spend 4 coins on this little cup right here, and basically it will make you have double damage and double spaces for 4 turns. You can only drink from this cup once in a game, and if you forget and you drink from it again, you will get the same effect. You will still get the same effect and get double damage and speed for 4 turns, but you have to let another player take an item from your inventory, excluding weapons. I already explained this earlier, but basically the web portal, you have to use 1 currency in order to use this. Moving on to the catapult, basically it costs 1 coin to use it, and it has the same effect as the other game. You can fire a rock or yourself out of it. If you hit someone with the rock, it is a 1-hit kill. And you can fire yourself for quick transportation too, so basically wherever you land, you can put your guy on and you can get going after that, obviously, once it's your turn. And also, if you fire yourself out of the game board, you are dead and you fell into the endless abyss, and your items cease to exist. You can also buy an item from the bank for 10 currency, but it is a hefty load. I mean, 10 currency is a lot of money. Also, the frogs are not in use during this game, so basically you're just going to want to take those out. Moving on to some additional rules. If a player kills you, and they can collect your items. If a mummy kills you, your items go to the mummy. But basically, if someone kills the mummy that killed you, the player can take their items, and basically that's it. Another added thing in this game is basically you can damage someone if you have no weapon, so basically your fists act as 1 damage. Also, for basic movements of your player, you can you can either attack, then move on your turn, or you can move your player and then attack. A paper for recording what you have and what health you have is highly recommended for this game. This game is 2 to 4 players. If you need better access to the area over here, the stairs are removable. The bank is actually detachable and attachable to the board in case you want to use it on the other board game as well. Alright guys, so that is basically it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this Land of Warriors board game video. I'm going to be releasing a Google Doc, probably, or something like that, for you guys to read these rules on. Maybe I'll just post a link to like a PDF or something like that so you guys can view the rules. And it would actually help you guys probably to make the game. If you did not know, this whole game is 1 big gray base plate, basically wide. And for the dimensions in the inside of the game, basically just you need 2 studs outwards from all sides in order to make it so the inside is enclosed, kind of like that. And that's how I kind of made the base of the inside. Also, the weapons are... basically, if you take a 6x6 radius, it is in the middle of the corner. If you guys want to know that, I'm basically going to make a video based on that too, on how to build the basic frame of this board game, so you can make your own rules and own areas and stuff like that. So you can make your own items and special potions or whatever you guys want to make for your game. So this is basically the second board game I made. I was actually thinking about making a version where you can combine the games and have an 8-player free-for-all, which would be pretty cool, but I haven't really made the rules for that yet, and I'll have to change a lot of things. So basically, tell me if you guys want to see a rules, if you guys want me to post rules for this, maybe on a PDF or something like that. I don't necessarily know how to do it, so maybe someone can give me tell me how to post a PDF or something of this, because I have the rules on my computer. So tell me if you guys want me to do that. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.